Oh my. Hey, Cherelle, how are you on today?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. It's always good to see you. I
Thank
wanted to say thank you. Thank you. I
you.
wanted to say thank you for coming out to the office and getting a Reiki session with me. It really was a pleasure. Enjoy working with you and knowing that you trust me in that way. So I just wanted to get a few, little feedback from you. Just take like of your time to ask
Absolutely.
you like, what's your previous experience with Reiki, like your knowledge base of it or experiences? How did you feel, coming into it and when you left?
Mhm. Well, Dr. Faye, let me just say thank you so much. Thank you so much for the session. We have a relationship, and I've enjoyed the relationship that we have. And with that being said, I know Reiki. I've got friends who do Reiki. I've understood a lot about it, but I've never had a Reiki session in my life. I didn't. I've never had one myself. But being that me and you're being a mentee of mine, I felt that I needed to learn more about what you did, how you did it, your process, things of that nature. And I put my trust in your hands. Now, if you know me, just the Christian in me, I don't nobody read my palms, don't nobody read
Right.
my legs or arms. That's all I'm saying. They're like,
Right.
we
Because we were
don't
like,
do
I was
that.
like, you sure? You were like, what is this going to be? I was like, it's like
Yeah.
going to church and someone's laying hands. You were like, but since you already had a basis too, it made it where you
It
had
did.
that foundation, which was awesome.
It did. And I'm very cautious of who speaks into my life, who touches me, just anything, right? Because more so than the physical, it's the spiritual for me. And I'm not knocking any of my friends or anything, because all of them are great and awesome and amazing in what they do, and healers in their own right. So I am very comfortable with healers. I'm very comfortable with understanding healers' place in the world, and that is a place that we need healing. There needs to be healing, and there needs someone who can take you through the journey. And so I was honored. I went in, and I'm just going to be 100% honest with you. I prayed and I said, okay, Lord, if this is meant to happen and you want this to happen, then you make the way. And our schedules lined up, the date lined up. It was perfect. We came in. But I'm just letting you know, I was already covered in the blood of Jesus before we got there.
Look, yo, but I feel like you should always pray before you do a thing. People be like, if you go into the store, you need to cover yourself. Like that should be a part. Well, let me word that. In your own practice, I
Yeah.
feel like that should be a part of what we do on a regular basis with anything, especially when you're dealing with energy, you're dealing with your spirit, or you just going to, get a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you need to cover that thing.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And so and that was what I did. I covered and I felt comfortable. So let me just say this. I did not walk in there scared. Okay. I don't want anybody to think that I walked in there just knocking my knees and scared, like, oh my gosh. I know you. I know your heart. I know where you come from. I know the genuineness that you walk with on a daily basis for nature, for human kindness, for human beings, for the world as a whole. I knew all of that. And so I was willing to put my life, my body, my energy into your hands. The facilities was amazing. It was very, very professional. I love just the atmosphere of the facility that we were in. Being on the table was, I mean, I get massages all the time. So it kind of reminded me of, all right, somebody about to work on me. And with that being said, what I did not anticipate though was, like I said, I prayed, and I'm like what you said. It's a daily thing for me. It's an all day thing for me, just in my walk. And the connection that was made. So I don't know if I told you this, but during the time that I was on the table and you were performing the Reiki on me, I didn't feel uncomfortable at any moment. There was actually a peace that came over me, almost like a release. Just like with massages, when I first get on the table, I'm tense, but I'm not tense because they're touching me. I'm tense because of just life and whatever happened before I got there, and driving there, and the lights or whatever, that was. And somewhere along that process, I allowed myself to just let go and just be in the moment. And so once I got to a place where I could just be in the moment, right? In that same sense, it was very peaceful, very relaxing. I will say this: I don't know if you call it vision or sense of what you would call it, but I could see four stones, four crystals to be exact,
Yes, I remember.
in each corner of the room. Now,
Mhm.
mind you, I didn't know. I found out later when we were doing the diagnosis, or kind of like just kind of overall what you got from the Reiki
Yeah, our
session.
debriefing,
With
yes.
our debriefing. Thank you. And you said something in that debriefing about there being 4 crystals, one in each corner of the room. I'm telling you, I didn't know that going in, but some sense of that. So I really felt then connected, and I felt like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be right now. This is what I'm supposed to be doing right now. It's almost like that confirmation. And it was a weird confirmation, but it was almost like the confirmation of where you are is the right place to be. Now, let me tell you about this debriefing that you did. I think, and you call it a debriefing. I call it a diagnosis. In
That's
some
like a
ways.
combination, right?
Right. It's like a combination of that, right? What the sense of some of the things that you got, we had never spoken of ever in life. There was no mention. You couldn't even go on my Facebook page to find these things, or social media. No, a whole lot of people didn't know a lot of the things where you picked up energy, low energy, high energy, stress areas, different things of that nature. And I'm not just talking about, oh, you're stressed in your leg. Oh, I'm not talking about in that way. I'm talking about the deeper meaning of what you picked up.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. Like,
Yeah.
the people like, how did you know? Like, it might be something like, well, 7 years ago this happened, or it's a health thing, or with everybody, whatever it is for that person and your energy, your spirit, your body, that's just what it is. So
it gave out and you received it in. My body gave it out, you received it in. So it lets me know that you were very much in tune. You were very much in the moment. And that spiritual connection happened the way it needed to happen for those things. Let me just tell you, I'm just going to say, you haven't asked me this question, but before you ask me, let me just say this. For anyone who's thinking about having a session with Dr. Faye, it's real. It's real. We have had conversations, and I'm the mentor, you're the mentee in a lot of different ways and a lot of different things in life. But this area is your area. You're the expert in this area. There is no, I'm not, you're it. You are the expert in this area. And I want to be very clear about that, because we want to go to experts. We go to people who mean well, that aren't meaning harm to us, and who want to help us get healthy in whatever that word healthy means for you, right? Because that's a different meaning for everybody. We've talked about that before. But I'll say that the session is, there's nothing that you can really prepare for in this session other than being open and willing. That's about the only thing you can prepare for in a session. Other than that, because I think if you try to prepare, you're going to hinder things that need to happen, or you're going to block things from an energy or spiritual standpoint. But just being open, willing, and just letting the energy flow the way it needs to flow, and then just letting Dr. Faye be your guide. That's it. Drop the mic. That's all you need. I'm telling you. And thank you so much. Thank you so much. It gave me a clear. I always knew what you did, and like I said, I know the profession, and I know a lot of people in the area of your profession around the world. But to have that experience directly with someone is totally different than them just talking about it, or hearing about it, or knowing about it. And it is one that I tell anybody, if you're sitting on the fence and you're figuring out, is Dr. Faye the person or not, I would say give her a try, because 10 times out of 10, she's going to be the person. And if for some reason she feels that she's not the person, she's going to tell you. It's not going to be, just because you're here and that type of thing. No, she's going to tell you. And so I appreciate that. And I thank you so much for the session that I had, and the debriefing diagnosis that
right,
came
consultation afterwards, like
right, yeah, that came afterwards, because it was amazing, and it was a safe place. Let me say this: it was a safe place to talk about things that maybe you don't talk about with a whole lot of other people. There was a non-judgment zone, and it was more of a concern of making sure you understood what that meant for your health, for your body as you move forward, than it was on the situation at hand.
I appreciate you sharing that. Like, you worded that so much better than I could. She's like, girl, I was there experiencing it. Yeah. Thank you so much. Like I said, I really appreciate it. And I know everybody who's listening is going to appreciate having that insight, getting like, well, what is it like? How does it feel? And I guess that'd be one last question right there. Like you said, if you just felt comfortable like getting a massage.
Yeah. Yeah. And you never, and let me just say this, you never touched me. Physically, you never touched me. So it wasn't, but it was the comfortable of like getting a massage. I mean, that's the best way that I could put it to anyone is it's like getting a massage. Now am I saying you're gonna walk away and you're gonna feel like, oh, I got to, like I got massage. You know you're not gonna get massage. Let me just say, no. But if you think about relaxing on the table and just being, that's pretty much really what it was. And I just want to say, you never touched me, but at the same time, there was a connection that was happening. And you were concentrating on certain areas, and I could feel in a weird, not in a touched way, like physical touch, but in a spiritual energy way, I could feel you in certain areas when you were there. But my eyes were closed. I mean, my eyes was closed the whole time. So I just relaxed like a massage. Just okay. And then the diagnosis, okay, I'm okay. You call the consultation, what you call it? The
We
debrief,
call it the debrief. We call it the after consultation because I have the
after
pre-consultation and the
consultation,
post-consultation. It's just it's finding the
all
right
of that.
word for it because all of that together is like every
Yeah.
time it's all of that like the conversation.
I didn't know what to expect in that, and it was even better than the on the table because it brought everything together. It was like tied it in a bow.
Awesome. Well, Miss Cherelle James, Miss Cherelle, I appreciate you. I thank you for your time. You guys, you heard it from Cherelle. So you can always contact me, Acquilla Faye. You have my name down here, you guys. You know my number, 336-926-2914. I mean, and my local CFO, you guys make sure you connect with Cherelle too. I know she answered questions for me, but if you got some questions with your business, she's a wonderful mentor, wonderful consultant, just great with numbers. So she does for numbers what I do with the spirit. It's a wonderful thing. Great combination. Y'all have a blessed one. Thank you. Thank you so much, sis.
All right. Take care. Bye.